Day 2 of Gladiators training camp is in the books. I'm Nick Bove, and joining me is Gladiators forward Will MacDonald. Will, how has training camp been going so far?
Training camp is going well. Coach Emmer is getting the boys out there skating real hard. Guys are battling. Guys are getting their legs back and getting the feel of the physicality again. And it's tough. It's a lot of, getting your wind back and getting your timing back. But other than that, it's been a good time getting to know everyone. And I'm excited to see what the team's going to be like because there's a lot of good players out there.
Excellent. You are from the Georgia area, from this area. You live in Alpharetta. Were you staying there over the summer?
Yes, I was in Alpharetta, and I was here for the majority of the summer. Had a couple trips. Kept it pretty simple. Went to Lake Lanier a couple weekends to enjoy myself, get some sun and water. But it's a real treat to be able to play in your hometown.
And it's got to be nice that the boys are back in town. It must feel like kind of a homecoming reunion or something. A lot of faces returning, but a lot of new guys. But it's got to feel nice to have guys back.
Well, absolutely. You're battling with your teammates from last year, and you make these bonds, and you're just good friends. And it was a long off season, unfortunately, but you're just itching to get back on the ice, and when it does come around to that time, you get to see everyone come back, and it's like a little reunion, and it's a lot of fun to see how everyone had how their summers went, and it was good.
Now, you mentioned just before this that you had some time over at the Cooler. Mm-hmm. That's where one of the preseason games that will be played this Friday coming up against the South Carolina Stingrays. What do you think of a place like the Cooler hosting a Gladiators game?
It's a special feeling because I grew up playing there. That's where I first started playing house hockey, where I first started playing travel hockey when I was six years old. And for me to be able to come back home, because it feels like home to me because that's where I grew up playing. It's this real special feeling that I'm able to have the opportunity to do something like that, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to really take me back and really make me think of a lot of fond memories.
Now that's just the beginning. That's the first preseason game that the Gladiators will play. Season's coming up in just a few weeks. How do you think the season's going to go for you and for the team?
The season, from what I see in the skates, how everyone's competing and battling, we're going to be one of the more tougher teams to beat physically. We're going to be real detail-oriented. We're going to be battle-hardened just based on how hard we're working. I'm real excited. I know we're going to do well. I've been training real hard, and everyone's been pushing each other, so I think that's just going to elevate everyone's game.
Well, there you have it. Gladiators forward Will MacDonald. Here with new Gladiators forward Cameron Abney. Cameron, how has training camp been going so far?
It's really, really good pace. It looks like a pretty good group of guys. Everyone's battling for spots, and we have a lot of guys right now, so no one's safe right now. So it's just making the compete level really, really good right now.
Now you've played pretty much all over the continent, but you spent a lot of last season out on the West Coast. What's it like coming over here towards the eastern side?
Not a whole lot changes. It's a little bit different style. Seems like a little bit more of a offensive game when I compared it from the west to the east side. You get to play a little more teams. Like as last year, we only played the same teams over and over again, so that's kind of a nice change of pace. But other than that, it's not a whole lot different.
How did you get to Georgia? Did you carpool with anybody? Did you fly?
I flew. I flew from Vancouver, yeah.
So that had to be pretty nice because I know that could have been a very long car ride.
Oh, yeah, that would have taken me days, I'm sure, to complete, and I don't think my truck would have made it, actually.
Now, you spent a few games up in the AHL a few years ago. How big of it is a goal for you to get back up to that level?
Yeah, it's the only goal. I mean, as much as I want to be a part of the Gladiators, I'm sure everyone in that room wants to be at the next level, and that's kind of everyone's goal, and it's my goal, and I hope it happens this season.
Now, for the fans that may not know, you're a forward. You played a few games as a defenseman before. How would you style your own game as a forward?
I'm just going to be a guy that plays hard every night. I'm going to stand up for my teammates. I'm going to finish every check. And I would like to be a guy that would add a little bit of secondary offense. So I would like to prove that side of my game this year as much as knowing my role and playing a big man's game.
All right, so Gladiators forward, Cameron Abney.